All right, brethren. Thank you. Thank you for joining me for my video. My name is. Oh man, are you guys getting a cold like me? Man, that time of year. Wow, runny nose, scratchy throat. All right. Thank you for joining me. My name is Jaquab Ben Yisrael. Welcome to my channel. I'm a faithist. Dave, Nazarene, brethren, good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Thank you and welcome to my channel. I want to give thanks to the creator for this opportunity to try to be a light while I'm in this reality. I think today I got a pretty good PowerPoint presentation that you brethren are going to really enjoy. I really, I think that you really going to enjoy what I have for you today. I think that it's going to make you think. I think it's going to show the seriousness of being a faithist and the reality that we're in right now. And I'll throw out a little teaser. You know, it talks about the. I mean, I wish. I don't want to. I don't like to sound harsh, man, but what I read, it talked about how one person in 48. I can't recall if it was going to be harvested or we're going to be of suitable level for whatever. One person of 48 in the world. One person of 48. Wait until I get to the presentation. I think you're going to really like it. It's pretty serious, man. It is really thought provoking, and I hope you brethren enjoy it. So, anyway, again, my channel is a channel for. It's not, I'm telling you, man. This channel is not for everybody. If you ain't serious about the creator and whom the world calls God and trying to learn what it's all about, our reality, and if you're not really trying to search and you kind of play with the creator, this channel is really not for you. If you're not serious about trying to learn what the will of the creator is, to where you make you really take it seriously and examine yourself and try to redeem the time. And if you're not real serious, I wouldn't recommend this channel for real, man. Because you're gonna get your feelings hurt. And it's not like I don't want you to, I want to spare your feelings at the expense of you missing out on the resurrection. But I don't want to. I'm not really into trying to bring people down, make people feel bad, or I'm just not into that. But I realize that we're on a road where I tell you, the creator has got us in a situation that is not funny at all, in the sense that he's calling, he's working, he's moving right now. And most people, now I say it most assuredly, most people cannot move with the creator. And I'm going to show you why in my presentation. Most people cannot move with the creator. I don't know no other way to say it. I'm going to show you it's irrefutable. And you brethren who are spiritual, you're faithists, you can move with the creator, you're able to attain to his voice. You ought to thank your lucky stars. Now, luck ain't got nothing to do with it. I'm just using it as a way of expression. I mean, I would equate it to to be carnal, to be vulgar. I would equate the ability to be a faithist equivalent to having like a million trillion bars of gold in the world today. I don't mean to be vulgar. I can't think of anything else. Nothing else comes to mind about the preciousness of our spirituality. And it's a shame this word that goes out, it's a shame it ain't got no power in most people's life. It's a double-edged sword for the faithists and for the world. It cuts both ways. And you hate to see it. It wakes you up. We in the situation we're in a really dark place. Especially now, we're in a time what's called the falling of the or the we're in a time of AGI, where darkness is covering the land. That means that the spiritual grade of the world as a whole is decreasing. You see it in people. You see it in other nations, countries. You see how people, they talk so easily. One big thing that shows is a dead giveaway of the spiritual decline of the world that we live in. It's easy to talk about war. It's easy to pull for one side or another. It's absolutely foreign to man to just don't engage in it. Just give the enemy what they want and trust the creator. That's out of the question in this reality. The creator, he calls for it. He says that's the solution. It's going to come to pass one way or another. And people are going to be caught off guard, man. He ain't going to relax his standards. The creator, he ain't going to relax his standards for men. He requires men to come into the kingdom to elevate in their spirit because it's the best way to highest way to live. Man is very hard-headed, very tied to the flesh. He loves himself. He lives as a beast in the senses. He chooses to live as a beast, meaning he knows only his own mind, his own, reality. Again, try to fix my chair. Again, that's it in a nutshell. We have the OAHSPE guidebook, the practical guidebook for brethren that can receive it. And it has an anointing on it that if you would just give it, if people gave it a chance, they should be able to attain to the Father's voice, but that's not always true either. You just plain and simply have to be able to hear it. And that's where it's a dangerous, man. This incense is going right up my nose. Oh, you sure do smell good, but I gotta move you. Going right up my nose, man. Somebody said if you light incense and the smoke goes to your face, somebody's talking about you. Okay, so that's a little better. But the ongoing reality is the stumbling block for me is being in the situation, being in the world, and people are so given to temporariness, to things of this world. They dedicate their whole life to it. Also that maybe they can retire and have a few years to themselves, and before you know it, you go into the spiritual and you're not ready, you're not prepared for it. And what I read last night in preparing this study, it really got my attention. The creator, he really got my attention, man. And so I hope to share it with you. I hope that you faith this, that what I'm going to talk about. I hope that it blesses you. It shows you why your numbers are so few, why people cannot hear this thing, and it'll get your attention. It should really get your attention, but for the good. to bless you and to let you know how unique and how special you should, it should comfort you. It should help you to put to rest fears and doubts, and it should just open up a way for you to just concentrate on the things that are really important. That's just trying to learn the Creator's will, which the bulk of it, the ultimately, is to figure out a way to be a benefit in every way to people in your reality. That's all it really boils down to. That's the whole. It's very simple. The Creator is very simple. Hi, Sharice. Sisters, good to see you. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. All right. We got Sharice. So I know that the message that I give is pretty much the same. And I believe that's what the Creator has given me to share with this channel, is to talk about the beast kingdom, what the beast kingdom is, who the beast kingdom is. It's religion, it's Christianity, it's Brahmanism, it's Buddhism, Hinduism. It started out good, but then it got hijacked and men have taken it over and they want to be worshipped. And the Creator, he said that anything born of a woman is deity, idolatry worship. He's commanding you to stop it and come out of it while holding on to the good principles of the different religions. Hold on to the good principles, but just get away from deity worshiping anything born of woman. And I talked a little bit last night about the grip. So far as Christianity, I'm sure it's the same way for Mohammedism and Hinduism and Buddhism. I'm sure it's the same way. The grip that the beast has on mortals. They love the simplicity of it, especially Christianity, where you basically confess with your mouth. They say, believe in your heart, confess with your mouth, and thou shalt be saved. And people, you know how America is. If they can find a way to take advantage of a thing, they will do it. America will do it. I can only speak pretty much in the reality where I live. America will do it. When it comes to spirituality, somebody sent me an email. And you know how people do? They say, God bless. So I took the opportunity. Sometimes, a lot of times, faith is we let it slide. We don't make any issue out of the ignorance of people. She said, now, God bless, in the email. Now, I know what she meant. She's meaning, I think sometimes they say it to be sarcastic too. Now, in this case, I think she was saying it to be sarcastic. Like, I have a good attitude and you have a bad attitude, and I'm going to try to make you feel little. So, you know how when people say, have a nice day, to people who are having a bad day, and they say things like that. And I was frustrated with them because I'm disconnecting with them in conversation. And I think my requests are simple enough, but there's a disconnect in trying to get on the same page. And it's been that way for a while. And so she wrote back, and she was trying to be sarcastic to kind of show that I'm better than you. You got a bad attitude, and in the sense that I kept having to ask for the same thing. And it sounded like I had a bad attitude, but I didn't. I just was trying to clarify, and she took it that way. So in this particular email, she said, God bless. So I decided to take her up on it. And I wrote her back. I said, what God are you talking about? Sometimes it's hard to take people's ignorance, is what I'm driving at. They say things it's like robotically. They don't even know what they're talking about. And she hadn't gotten back to me yet. She's going to probably say something like, what do you mean? And I'm going to write back, Do you mean that you are asking Satan to bless me? I'm going to, play it ignorant, and actually I'm going to try to reach her, to open her understanding and make her think. When you talk about the creator, man, he wants you to, he don't want us to proselytize, like, come and join us. At least that's the sense I get. It ain't like he's saying, come and join our team. You know, it's like the creator is saying, open your mind, wake up, you know, wake up. The the world has put you to sleep. You sleeping. Well, faith is trying to wake you up, man. We're trying to get you to, you're giving away your opportunity to this reality. You're giving it away. You're giving it away. But we can't be heard. We cannot be heard. And for me, it keeps blowing my mind, you say you want life, you want every good and precious thing, but then when it comes to you, the opportunity or the knowledge of it, you don't listen. You don't want to listen. I'm talking to even faithists. You get knowledge and then you run with it, and you just think that you could just treat people any old kind of way. You just treat people like, I don't care what you think, or I don't care what you feel. I'm gonna do it my way, and if you don't like it, then you could just take it or leave it. And that's not the right attitude. That's the you want to. That's the way. I mean, mankind. He wants to be worshipped. I mean, it's to the point where it makes you sick to see it. He wants to be worshipped, even, if it's 2 or 3 people. And oh man, it's like it gets to you after a while, after a while it gets to you because you wanted to, and one thing that I seem to have learned, as you get older, you can see the mistakes that younger people make. As you get older, you can see it. You can even see mistakes that older people make. I mean, as you mature in the spiritually, as you come into contact with the creator, the more you learn, the more the reality that we live in, it clears up. You can see things more clearly. You can see mistakes that, matter of fact, I'm gonna even back that up with what I'm gonna talk about, what I'm gonna show you in the PowerPoint. When I do the PowerPoint presentation, man, I'm gonna hit a lot of points. It's a serious study. Now, here's my room where I invite anybody, if there's somebody new looking at this video, this is a place here where I like to share. See, I'm telling you, man, I like to try to use this room so that brethren can keep your mind, keep your mind focused on the creator. If you can learn to do that, keep your mind focused on the creator and his word and his, you can, that's how you elevate. The more that you can give more of your thoughts and your spirit to the things that the creator is sharing with you, then it's like the more you grow, you become separated from this reality. The dainties, the tactics of Satan, and that's what it's all about. The only problem is most people ain't willing to discipline themselves like that, because the world is just too big, man. It's always asking you to, you look at TV, it's always asking you to drink or go out and party or eat meat or buy this or buy that. And it's always before you, man. It's programming. It's always begging you, cater to the flesh, cater to the flesh. You know, be unfaithful to your wife, be unfaithful to your husband, neglect your children, go out and have a good time, don't, you only got one life, that sort of thing. Hey, Antonio, good to see you, brother. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us, brother. Good to see you, man. Always good to see you. So that's the reality. I'm just here to remind us, as long as the Creator allow me, where we live, where we live. We're in the womb right now. You brethren, us, we're in the womb. We are in the womb waiting to be born. Remember the OAHSPE guidebook? It said that real life begins when we leave the womb, which is where we are right now. We leave the womb and then we're born into the spirit, and that's where real life began. And we set up our DNA, so to speak, in the spirit right now. We say, let's say, I want to be beautiful, I want to be attractive, I want to be magnetic, I want to have charisma. And really, that's not really the right way to think, really. As the Creator, he knows that, but the Creator, the desire you keep reading about is learn to be a servant. Learn to be a servant, learn to be a servant. And then that's where you get endless spiritual ascension, when you talking to people, let them have the floor. Let them talk. They don't listen to you, I know. They don't realize how insensitive they are being to you. They don't realize it. They just talk and talk and talk. They want to talk about what's on their heart, and they don't care about, unless you're talking to family or a loved one, but serve them. Even in that little instance, let them get off on you, in the sense that people, they like to talk and be heard. Okay, if you pick that up on a person, then just let them do it. You serving them. You being a servant, Yeah, it's true. You want to talk too. You want to express yourself too. But the world, they not good at that. They not good at listening with concern. Somebody talking to you, and listen with concern. Some people will pick up on that. They'll say, he ain't just letting me blab and run my mouth. He's really listening, or he or she, and they reciprocate. They pick up on it and they return the favor. See? And now you've elevated somebody a little bit, because of your example. You wasn't like the rest of the world, or you gotta keep interrupting them, and they take up, you speak for 5 seconds and they speak for 5 minutes, and then you get a little word and they interrupt you, and then they don't realize what they be doing. But in that little bit, you can serve them. You can you giving them what they want. It's not sin. You know what I mean? And that the swift messengers, that they make notes of that, and they give it back to the Creator. And then the Creator says, okay, well, what's their spiritual grade? And the angels, they say, well, they're 49 right now. And then the Creator says, okay, mark them down as 52. Okay, mark him down as 52, because he was engaged in conversation with somebody, and he sacrificed himself and his desire so that the other person could speak their mind and their heart, and they neglected to return the favor to the person they were talking to. So it's little things like that. If you examine yourself, you can serve in little ways. I like that, man. That's right up my alley. I love, my mom was like that. She liked to be a secret helper. If she caught wind of somebody was in a situation, and she's the type of woman that works secretly to make the situation better. She didn't have to need vainglory, So I learned a lot. I credit my mom with a lot of that, putting that spirit in me. It's right in the wheelhouse of being a faithist. See, it's the little things that you can do too, where, and you might not, when it becomes constitutional in you, to meaning that it becomes fixed in you, now you're doing it every day. And your grade is just going up and up. And on top of that, you blessing people and they pick up on it at some point, and you win in both ways. If you could just self-abnegate, like the scripture says, learn to be a servant. Try to take on that mind. Try to consider the other brother or sister. That's the kingdom of God right there. See? We live in a reality where everybody says, gimme, gimme, gimme. Mine, mine, mine. And in that way, we're like children. In the presentation I'm going to do to Creator, he say the same thing. You got older people and their spiritual grade is no higher than a child. I know people like that. I live right next door to somebody like that. He's like 70 some years old. And he's like a little child, in his spirit. He woke me up again last night, 3 a.m, cried out for help. I keep telling him, man, wear that medic alert, wear it. If I was in the world, I would have cussed him out by now. I mean, literally chewed him out. To wear that damn thing, man. I keep telling him, wear it. Where if you fall, all you got to do is hit that button, man, and that'll alert the fire department and the police, But he's hard-headed, man. He's an Aries. You can't tell them people anything, man. They're real. They can be real hard-headed people. They can be really, that's a sign of the baby, Aries. Taurus is the child. Cancer is the adolescent, and Aries can be older people. Even they can be like little children, selfish and baby like. And I keep telling you, man, when you fall, you got to start where you got to keep that medic alert around your neck, But you get up, you won't listen, you fall, and then you start crying out for help. And if it wasn't for the fact that I never sleep at night, you would be laying there probably all day, all night, no help, because either I'm asleep or because I'm the only one that can hear it. And I like to stay up all night. I don't go to sleep until like 6 or 7 in the morning, and even then I have to fall out because I really like doing what I'm doing now, and he's just hard-headed like that, man. And 3 o'clock, help me. And then I called the police department. They came, or the ambulance, they came and got him. Tuesday night of this week, help me. And then I went and called it. I don't mind doing it. I'll do it. But it just show you that we in a reality, it's a lot of people like that. And the OAHSPE say you could be old and have the spirit of a young child, man. You can have the spirit of a young child in your insensitivity, your lack of patience. Even when I went over to my neighbor and I said, John, did you fall again? He said, yeah. I said, just wait, man. I'm going to call the fire department. So I went off to call the fire department. And then like 3 minutes later, he started screaming again, "Help me! Help!" Like he didn't hear that I told him I'm calling him. So I just didn't even respond. I used to come running whenever he would start screaming and open the door and talk to him. And now I just, when I find out he falls, I just go and call him and wait at the door to let him in. And a couple seconds later, he'll start crying out, "Help me, help me." He's like a baby like that, Aries, 70 something years old. So I'm telling you what they're, the people of the world. And I'm telling you, man, the OAHSPE in Book of Knowledge, chapter 5, he says some people, wow, man, they old and their spiritual grade is like 1 or 2. Meaning the ratio of the time that they help people compared to the time they served themselves. Watch, you're going to see what I mean. So here's my room where I invite brethren, there are a couple other rooms where you can go as well. And the agenda is the same thing, to share the practical guidebook, the OAHSPE practical guidebook. Here's the other. Here's another room. And then here's another room. Well, wait a minute. That's my room. And then Brother Omian's room, another room he's got, this right here. So you got, it's in the link. Click on the link. And, it should bring you to their rooms. Hey, Nazarene, brother. Oh, yeah, I'm falling. I can't get up. I'm telling you, man, the body is something else. You get older and you will fall. And you, like me, the situation I'm in, man, being in this chair, and my legs are so heavy, man, that if I fall, it's going to be a hell of a time for me to get up. It takes me a hell of a time, man. I mean, that's one of the curses of, the body, even healthy people, if they fall, they have a hard time getting up too, and, it's just, ooh. It just is what it is, But so if you at least gonna get beat up like that in the body, man, and all of us will, man, you should at least redeem the time. You should, if you're gonna go down, man. My motto is go down swinging. I'm gonna go down swinging, meaning I'm gonna learn what the will of the Creator. I'm gonna find out what's eternal. Now, everybody ain't built this way. I'm just sharing it. The Creator put it in my mind. Okay, I realized from a young age, from a long time ago, that we in a temporary situation. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna find out what's forever. I'm gonna find out what's forever, and I'm gonna go after it. I'm gonna find out what's forever, and then, man, I'm gonna go after it. I'm just gonna go after it. And it's been a long road. It's been twisting and winding. It's been peaks and valleys, but I never gave up, man. And I learned that that's what the Creator does. You read the Apocrypha, book of, what is it? Wisdom, I think it is. And it talks about the spirit, and it drags you here and there, and to test your faithfulness. And if you can endure it, then the payoff is priceless. The payoff is priceless. If you can follow the Creator, man, if you can chase the Creator in life, the payoff is beyond, it's beyond the highest goal. If you can endure it, if you can endure people, if you can get to that third resurrection, if you can cross that bridge of Chinvat, man, you know, that's the goal of all of us. The bridge of Chinvat, man. That's where you're an Ethereum. Now you are an Ethereum, brother. That means that you've overcome the Tetrax. Cherie says, I fell on a Lego and I'm still not walking. Right? It's only been, I'm still not walking. I'm still not walking right. It's only been a few weeks. The baby's had to help me up. Yeah, see? Hey, Cherie, how old are you, if you don't mind saying? Yeah, that's the body, you know? And see, Nazarene says, I hope that all gets better with you and everyone speedily, Yaikwab. Yeah, I'm settled in my heart, man. You know, it's sometimes it amazes me that I can't just jump up and run, you know, or just get up, walk right. You know, I mean, I can walk and it's ugly as you wouldn't want to look at me. You know, I got to use a cane and, you know, Cherie says she's 41. Yeah. And the body, man, is something else, you know, when you think, wow, man, if I fall, it takes, for me, I'm luckier, if I could use that word, than a lot of people. You know, I get up, but like my neighbor, he can't move. And, you know, one time I tried to get him to help himself and, you know, he couldn't do it. So I ended up just calling the fire department. One time I tried to grab him and lift him up and I couldn't, you know, I was bent over my power chair and I grabbed him. I was trying to lift him up and I couldn't do it. And your body, man, you know, you get older and you fall down. It's harder for you to get up. And, you know, it just is what it is. It should make you more thankful, man, to chase the Creator, brother. Where this is the last time we're going to be in the body. This is the last time. This is it. After we leave the body, we go into the spirit. And that's it, brother. This is the last time. This is the first. Now, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, man, but this is the first and the last time we go into the body. You know, this is our shell, you know, like a butterfly. And then we go into the spirit. The body is the last chance, you know, it's not the last chance to hear the voice of the Creator. But the Creator says, man, it is a hell of a benefit. The body is a hell of a benefit to attain to the voice of the Creator. The lessons learned here, it's easier to learn it now than it is when we're born again. You know, it's easier to do it now, attain to His voice, take the time, show a little discipline, show that you care about the Creator, and because He turns you over to free will, He honors it. You're gonna watch. It's almost about time for the reading, so let me do a couple of verses right here. I might sound different. I feel like, you know, my head feels like a mothball. My head feels like a ball of cotton. You know, it's that time of season, you know. Out here, oh, I'd rather be out here though. Oh man, I'd still rather be out west than back east. You know, when it started getting cold back east, man, I remember them days. Man, it would get so cold, you know, it'll make an icicle run for cover. Well, that used to damn near kill Yikwa, boy. Oh, the winter, man. I love the autumn back east. I love the autumn, but man, the winter is pretty to look at the snow falling. But the air is hard as concrete, you know? And I used to grow up thinking, man, As soon as I'm able to write my own name, I'm getting the hell out of here. I don't care where I go, man, but I cannot stay here, you know. But, I digress. Now, here's some verses in my robe that I like to share. I wanted to, had some other ones that I wanted to get to yesterday. I didn't have a chance. So I'm just go through a couple of them, then we go into the PowerPoint presentation. The name of the video for the PowerPoint presentation is going to be Like Attracts Like. And I think you brother going to get a real kick out of this study. I'm really pulling for this study. I pray that the Creator glorify Himself and really, really bless you, brother. It blessed me like crazy. So here's someone posted where it said, Tae, T-A-E, and that's the representative of all of us, of the highest man can be, Tae, if I'm not mistaken. Now that I think about it, Sharice, what were you doing playing with Legos? Your children were playing with them, and they left the Lego out, and you fell on one. Legos was pretty cool, man. Y'all remember Legos? So here it says, Tay perceived that these things were so. Okay, now I'm jumping in the middle of the thought. I always do that, but there is a post because there's still something there we can all use. It says, Tay perceived that things were so, and that the time had come when all people will bow to none except Jehovah the Great Spirit. That's where we live right now. Let me see. Shree says the winters in Chicago are now for the weak. You got that right. I grew up in Cincinnati. So if Chicago was worse than Cincinnati, man, I really thank my lucky stars. Cincinnati is bad, man. I mean, the winter. I remember the winter, man. Yeah. So here, Tay, he says that this is the time we're living in right now. Everybody is going to bow to none except Jehovah, the Great Spirit. And, okay, you were walking by and you fell. Okay. Time is coming where all people will bow to none except Jehovah, the Great Spirit. And then from the glossary of the OAHSPE Practical Guidebook, the Ethereans are spirits who have passed beyond all earthly attractions. See there? That's who we're. That's our mission. That's our goal, to ascend to be Ethereans, where we have passed by all earthly attractions, powers, and conditions. Can't nothing reach us anymore. Remember in the Bible, Jesus Christ said that time of my departure is at hand, for he said something like Satan there is nothing more within me, or something like that. Well, I believe that part is true, that the objective for us, can't nobody affect you no more, make you mad or make you want to be evil, or, anything else that has to do with being hateful, or, you can't be affected no more. You don't live on the earth, so to speak, anymore. You're not given to the evil spirit. It can't affect you anymore. You're no more good for the earth. We're talking about faith. That's our lesson. Eventually to elevate so great, that to be so selfless that we graduate to becoming Ethereans, gods and goddesses. When we cross over, you become a lord. From what I understand right away, you become a lord. You faith this, you become lords then. I could correct me if I'm wrong. So we got Dave in the room, so he'll check me when I need to be checked. So from what I understand, you become a lord. And then here's something that says both But those in the second grade are bound to their beast through the light of their church or whatever their group was called. Those in this end grade are in only the beginning stages of the second resurrection, being preliminarily to membership in the second resurrection. Being preliminarily to membership in the second resurrection, not unlike an embryo in a womb is preliminary to being born. And that's where we are. We're in the womb right now. We're in the womb. Remember, Creator said real life don't begin until we're born into our spirit self. That's when real life began. Here, this verse is saying that the second grade, the second ES, which is spirit grade, it says they're bound. See, it's like it's saying that your spirit grade is not equal to your resurrection. It's just that your second spirit grade, people who are in the second spirit grade, they don't do much by way of ministering to other people, basically, is what it's saying. During the low grade, the second spirit grade are bound to the beast. Now, speaking about people who are bound to the beast, man, you know, they're you know, they're bound to the beast. They're bound to religion. All they know is religion. They treat people according to religion. And that's all they know. The light of their church or whatever their group is called keeps them bound to the beast in the second grade. They're low grade. They got a low grade because they're bound to the. You hear some people talk about Bible, 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 church, 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 church. That's all they know. They're bound to the beast. They're bound to it. It says those in this end grade they're only at the beginning stages of the second resurrection, meaning that at some point they're going to learn to work in an organization for the betterment of their brethren. The objective is going to be to serve their brethren in an organization. That's how we ascend. But see, from what I can remember, and when I was in the beast, when I was in the belly of the beast, it kept the focus on me, always talking about sin and, always trying to make you cry in church and talking about repenting and falling down and, kicking yourself all the time. And the focus always remained on you. And this, when you read the guidebook, when you read the OAHSPE, it do say search yourself, examine yourself, but don't spend all day there, all week, all month. You remember the old saying, analysis paralysis. That's the church. Analysis paralysis, stagnation. And you can't move. You're always so busy looking at yourself, you cannot pick up on where your brother is at so you can find a way to jump in and minister to him. It's antithetical to the church, to the creator. It's antithetical to the creator. You so focused on yourself all the time, all you know is you feel this way. You think you tied up in your own world. And your brother needs you. You know what I mean? You need each other. He needs you to minister to him, and then vice versa. That's what makes the world go round. But you don't got that in the world here. It's one person. All they know is themselves. And they could give a good, about what you're going through. See, the kingdom of God, the Ethereans, they care about other people. You always read about them. They bum rushing to wherever the problem is, coming up with solutions, building ships to grab people, get them up out of there, There was one God, and I was reading somewhere, I think his name was ECAD. He found out where there was a hell at, a knot. He wanted to bum rush, go get the people out. And Crazy said, nope, nope. He said, hold on. He said, wait. Because when you deliver them, they're going to go right back. He said, make sure you let the people know that this situation is as close to as eternal as can be. Get them to thinking that, hey, man, if I get out of this situation, I'm never going to make that mistake again. See? So another verse, it says that now this was a footnote from the guidebook, the OAHSPE guidebook. It said that is their associated practices that have bound them to their beasts, as well as their belief in the beast, which is an idol, keeps them from becoming members of the second resurrection. For the bonds created remain with them. See, on the earth, it says, and the second grade of bondage keeps them banned from the second resurrection until they rise above their beast. See, the beasts say, Jesus Christ say, worship me. You know, no man cometh to the Father but by me, but through me. You know, and Jesus Christ says that if you don't believe that I am he, then ye shall die in your sins. See, Jesus Christ said that he who believeth not on me is condemned already. See, he puts the focus on him. Even in the Old Testament, remember, Moses held up the serpent on the stick, which is the sign for the medical profession, to get people to stare at that. And that theme is carried over into the New Testament, where Jesus Christ gets you looking at him. And you think you're looking at the Father, but you are not. It's a Jedi mind trick. It's taking you away from the focus on the Creator and bringing you into the second spiritual grade, which is, it's not the second resurrection, but you're part of an organization who are all part of a low grade that is not the second resurrection. You're not ascending because you're stuck. You stagnated, man. You can't, you know, my cousin who I had a problem with on the phone, he said, Kurt, your doctor changed every 5 years. And I told him, brother, that's because I don't sit still. I ain't stagnant. I'm moving. I'm elevating. If you are 60 years old and you in the third grade, would you not agree that we have a problem? Can we not agree with one another that you have a problem? Should you have not already have gone to college, graduated, and in your 20th year of working at your job, you stuck in kindergarten learning pre-fractions, general math? Can we not admit that you have a problem? Is the Creator stagnant? And they can't hear you. My cousin, he can't hear me. He can't hear me. He's too smart. He's educated. He will not budge. And he's a Leo. He's a fixed sign. And he will not budge from the Creator. It goes along with Pluto going into Aquarius. It's going to be harder for some signs. If you're under grip of the beast, they ain't going to break. They ain't going to. A Taurus, a Scorpio, an Aquarius, and Leo, their mindset is fixed. And it's going to be a little tougher on them to break out of the beast. Some people are tied to the way they've always been. Oh, man, you know what? I'm late for the reading. So anyway, let me just go through these verses. You can just stop the video. Stop the video. You can read for yourself. Time for the reading of the word. I'm a little late. So you can just stop the video. You can read these things. All right. See, here's one right here in the OAHSPE guidebook. Most of all, in fear was the false Christ, because for the sake of aggrandizing his own kingdom, he had gotten it proclaimed on the earth that whoever believes in me shall be saved, but whoever does not believe in me shall be in danger of hellfire. Now, in the Bible, it says, whoever calls his brother Raka, which means fool, shall be in danger of the hellfire. But there is also this verse here, which is in John chapter 3:18, that goes along with what the OAHSPE said. And this is, whoever believes in him is not condemned, but whosoever does not believe is condemned already, because he has not believed in the name and the Holy Son of God, talking about Jesus Christ. So the OAHSPE is showing you who the beast is. He's showing you. It's written in the OAHSPE and it's written in the Bible. Okay, time to go to the reading of the word. Let me just give you a couple other quick verses. You can stop the video, look at these things. And let me make a beeline for the reading of the word. Okay, so that's good enough. All right, now the name of the video is Like Attracts Like. Like Attracts Like. Okay, so put that up. Like attracts like. So let's get that up. And man, I'm really pulling for this video to bless you, brethren, in your understanding, because it's a deep one, man. This is a deep one. And the impression it left on me is, the creator, you have a tendency to, belittle, to underestimate the creator, man. You can have a tendency to underestimate the creator. And let me fix this a little bit more. You can have a tendency to underestimate. See, that's one thing that I fear about for Faithists. One thing I fear is that we turn into Christian Faithists. That's one thing I do see it in some of our groups. I see a tendency to turn into Christian Faithists. And basically what I mean by that is where anything is okay. You can say anything, you can do anything, and it's all okay. The creator, don't spread the evil report, so everything anyone does is okay. There ain't no judgment, there ain't no discernment, don't criticize anybody. And I agree with that. And so, but the way it gets internalized is people, they think, well, I'll just say anything, do anything. It ain't no trouble. It ain't no problem. You can't judge me. You can't say nothing to me. That's Christian Faithism. Christian, there ain't no guidelines. There ain't no boundaries. You just do anything you want to do, the creator, he said, and, you point to the OAHSPE to justify treating people any old kind of way. You feel like it ain't no consequences. I do what I want, and I'm here to tell you, the creator, he's got something for you. If you're the type of person where the world can't tell the difference between you and the world, between a faithist and the world, if you look like the world, you smell like the world, you are the world, and you know a lot of OAHSPE practical guidebook, then you're going to go to what you look like. You're going to go to your people. So you're going to be born in spirit, and you're going to be dodging bullets back at the same neighborhood that you're comfortable with, being the same way you always were. And that's why you're going to like it. And the creator is going to give it to you. There are some faithists, they want to be around educated people who treat you real nice. You can talk to them. They know where you're coming from. They're really intelligent. They can comprehend quickly. They can read between the lines. They can pick up on you. They know how to respond to you in conversation. They know how to reciprocate. They know how to, you know what I mean? There are people like that. That's the reality they want to live in. They work to be the type of person they want to be around, and the Creator, He separates you that way. See, we're going to get into the divisions of the Spirit. We're going to get into that. So let's begin. May the Creator bless the reading of His Word. The name of the video is Like Attracts Like, meaning you're going to go to your people. You're going to go to who you are. Have some green tea here. Maybe it'll help my cold. Okay, the name of the video is Like Attracts Like. Now, to summarize it, it says in OAHSPE, a practical guidebook to the spiritual life, the phrase like attracts like refers to the principle that individuals are drawn to others who share similar spiritual qualities, traits, and inclinations. This concept is articulated in the concept of understanding the dynamics of spiritual existence and personal growth. Specifically, it indicates that people with similar desires and characteristics will naturally gravitate towards each other, creating connections that reflect their spiritual states. In the Book of Knowledge, it says, separate all the people. Now, this is an account. This is an account where the Creator is talking to Te. T-A-E, Te. Te is representative of you and me, of the man in his highest spiritual self. And Jehovah said, separate all the people into 4 groups, and you shall determine the kingdoms of Atmospheria. So, Creator's going to show Te what Atmospheria looks like, the divisions in Atmospheria. And then it says, and you shall divide them according to my judgment upon them. Remember, O man, that in all my kingdoms, like attracts like. According to their talents, so do I prosper them. Okay, summary, Book of Knowledge, chapter 5, verse 2. A summary. It says, the text states, remember, O man, that in all my kingdoms. Okay, so we just read this, but there's more to it. The text states, remember, O man, that in all my kingdoms, like attracts like. According to their talents, so do I prosper them. Now, this suggests that the spiritual and moral qualities that the spiritual and moral qualities of individuals determine the kind of spiritual companions, see, they will attract. Hence, the relationships formed in both the corporal and spiritual realms are the reflection of one's own interests, emphasizing the importance of personal growth and righteousness and love to attract positive relationships and experiences. So it's like we see now the Creator is saying, say like in reality, you know, let's say you like a certain person and nobody else likes that person, but you like them, you know, for reasons only you know. Creator's saying the same thing in Atmospheria. You know, he puts you with people that they have the same vibration as you have. You know, that's how Atmospheria is made up. And you decide where you're most comfortable. And you're going to reflect that in your actions. And Creator, he says, all right, this person's like this. And then you're born into the spirit. They place you with your kind, your people, from what I understand. Okay. Now we're going to look at the divisions of like-minded brethren according to the Book of Knowledge, Chapter 5, the OAHSPE Guidebook. These are the divisions of people in reality. These people, everybody falls under one of these divisions. The only thing that's different is your spiritual grade. Whether you use your talent for yourself or for serving your brethren. It says in the Book of Knowledge, chapter 5, verse 3, it says, give of the earth to him who desires of, it says, give of the earth to him who desires of heaven. I chopped off part of this verse. I'm sorry, brother. I chopped off part of it. It should say, give of the earth to him. Matter of fact, let me just paraphrase it. It says basically, give the earth to him who is of the earth, and give to heaven to whom is of the heavens. I chopped off part of the verse reading this. It says, give of the earth to him. I gotta read that. I gotta read this. Let me see. I don't want to start dancing because that's where I mess up. Book of Knowledge, chapter 5, verse 3. I gotta read that. I can't let that slide. So let's go to the Book of Knowledge, chapter 3. Book of Knowledge, chapter 3. So I messed that verse up, so we should go back and read it again. Book of Knowledge, chapter 5, verse 3. Book of Knowledge, chapter 5, verse 3. So we can read that better. Book of Knowledge, chapter 5, verse 3. Okay, let's get Book of Knowledge, chapter 5, verse 3. Okay. Now it says, to him who desires of the earth. So let me make that correction right now on my PowerPoint. I can make that correction right now. So let's do that. Bring it back up. Okay, so let's erase this. Okay, so let's erase this. So put in the right translation. All right, it says, to him who desires of the earth, I give the earth to him. Let's change this real quick. All right, all set. To him who desires of the earth, I give of the earth. To him who desires of heaven, I give heavenly treasures. So we got a principle. Creator is showing a principle of how he sets up Atmospheria, how he sets it up. Now, here's a summary of motivation of people who gravitate to one another, according to the Book of Knowledge, chapter 5. It says, Tay said, I perceive why the king desires to be king. And actually, I need to say something here. Back up here, it talked about the division. So we're going to get into that. I think I jumped ahead. Here, it talked about the divisions of like-minded brethren, and we're going to get into that. I think I maybe put a slide out of place, but it's okay. Now this, it says, the summary of motivation of people who gravitate to one another in the Book of Knowledge, chapter 5. It says, Tay said, I perceive why the king desires to be king, and why the idler desires to be idle, and why the general desires to rule, the captain and leader of men to lead, and why the rich man glories in riches. If they prosper in these things, is it not because the corporal transcended the spirit? So again, Jehovah, he told Tay to group the earth, divide the earth. So Tay is how he's telling us how he did it, according to what criteria he divided the earth. And he lists a group of people here. He lists a king, he lists an idler, he lists a rich man, he lists a leader of men. And he's saying that they choose to be these things and they pursue these things, making decisions for these things in their corporal self, working to these ends, either to be idle or for a king to rule, to why he wants to be king, or a leader to be a leader of men, a captain and leader to be a leader of men. Why the rich man glories in riches. They make these decisions for themselves and they work towards that end. Now, the first division of people that Tay makes, remember, he's going to make 4 divisions of people. He's going to make 4 divisions of people. He says in the Book of Knowledge, chapter 5, verse 5, and Tay brought all these together. He brought all these people together, the divisions of the earth. And he called the first division, saying, he who is furthest from Jehovah prospers best in his talent in the corporal world. For his desires show the direction of his soul, which is toward things of the earth. So he's really talking about a lot of, he's really explaining why, the people that you watch on television, Thanks for putting that in there, Nazarene, so I can remember. Thank you. In this verse right here, Creator is showing you why people are successful. These are people you usually see on TV. They're famous, or you hear about them in the media, and and it's basically saying because they dedicate themselves to earthly pursuits. Creator gives it to them. Not everybody can get to the same level though, but if someone is successful, it's because if they're pursuing the earth, then it's because they do it to the detriment of their spirit. They do it to the detriment of their spirit. Say like athletes. Most of the athletes, they have to dedicate themselves. They have to start from a young age, and then they have to, they have leagues for young guys and girls, and they start playing these sports at a very, very young age. And then they start to grow and they take on discipline and responsibility, and they start to work out on their own and practice on their own. See, that's them showing the desire of their soul, and they have to keep it up. And it usually plays out to where they gravitate to the earth. The earth demands that if you prosper on the earth, you have to dedicate yourself to the earth. That's why Tay said he put them in the first division, because they're further. He says they're furthest away from Jehovah. Can you believe that? He's giving you the reason why some people are successful and some people are not. Look at that. He says, he who, and I'll paraphrase it for you. It's like he's saying, he who dedicates himself to the earth, they prosper best in their talent, whatever their talent is. Isn't that amazing? That's why they prosper, man. They dedicate themselves to the earth. And Tay, he says, they're furthest away from Jehovah. They have no time for Jehovah. Their dedication is to the earth, whether it be money or entertain or anything you can name. And the Creator, he gives it to them. They prosper is according to their spirit. And then you end up watching them on TV. And then what do they say? I'd like to thank God. They have no clue who they're talking about. If I was an announcer, I could say, oh, okay, you mean the God of Satan? And say, yeah, I want to give thanks to God. Won't even pay attention to what you're saying. They're robots in a sense. Like the lady who wrote me that letter, God bless you. She didn't know she was talking to a faithist who knows how to check her on that. Not for the purpose of putting her down, but hopefully that she might be made to think, yeah, who is the God I'm referring to? Yeah, he's right. There are many gods. Which one do I believe in? That's my desire, to get her to start thinking. See, Tay, he says he's made divisions of the earth. He grouped them into 4 groups of people. What's the next group of people? The second division. He says in the book of knowledge, chapter 5, Tay then called together all the laborers of the earth. He called all the laborers of the earth who were diligent, but they did not prosper. And he found their spiritual judgment transcended their corporal judgment. He called this the second division. Now we see a group of people who are more spiritual than earthly. They didn't prosper necessarily in the earth. They were like the middle class, They worked. They did not prosper. And their spiritual judgment transcended their corporal judgment. More often than not, man, they were spiritual, And Tay said he called these people the second division. Second division. Then we got the third division. It says Tay then collected together all the infants in the world. And they were without judgment. And this he called the third division. So see, showing you the different categories of atmosphere. There are different realms. There are different divisions. Tay is showing you basically where you land or what division you are a part of at one point or another. And then it says the fourth division. You're going to love this. Look at the people in the fourth division. Tay then called all the people who lived off the earnings and industry of others. You see, these people are grifters. They're parasites. And look who Tay said they were. He said they were thieves, robbers, politicians, lawyers, judges, and preachers who live in fine houses. And he called them the fourth division. He said that's the fourth division. Now, it says the ultimate desired division, place of unity, mature, true, faithless believer is what I'm getting ready to read to you now. This is my idol if I have one. This person right here, his attitude. If I had to have an idol, this would be it right here. This guy right here. I mean, I have all the respect in the world for this person who Tay describes now. I mean, this is the ultimate man, if you ask me, spiritually. And then we read Book of Knowledge, chapter 5, verse 10. He says, Tay said, who are you? So it's kind of like this guy is not in any part of the divisions that we just read. Here comes this guy. Tay says, "Who are you?" And the man answered, he said, "I do not know. Neither do I know where I came from, nor where I shall go." Now, I'm just getting a download spiritually about what this may mean. I'm just now getting an understanding about what I think this means. A person who doesn't know who he is and doesn't know where he came from, nor where he is going, that can sound like a faith to a person who's not part of the beast kingdom, but he has a right character. I think is what it's saying here. So Tay is covering everybody. He's being used to cover every type of man in our reality. Now, it seems he's talking to a man who has no God. Now, I think I might have to take that back. He fits the description of a person who they're just a good person. And it could be a faithist or not. I think that's how the creator is using this person. You have to decide for yourself. Let me read it. It says, Tay said, "Who are you?" And the man answered, "I do not know. Neither do I know where I came from, nor where I shall go." And when you read the OAHSPE Practical Guidebook, it says that these types of people are usually, it's kind of confusing because it says that it describes that these type of people are like wandering spirits, if I'm not mistaken. But that's not the conclusion we come away with when we read this. Let me keep going. The man says, "I do not know, neither do I know where I came from, nor where I shall go." And Tay said, "What is your labor?" The man answered, "I do whatever I can turn my hand to, and I give to all I have, and I give all I have, and my time to whoever needs me." Tay said, "Shall I give you gold?" The man said, "No, I need nothing." Tay said, "Shall I make you a leader of men?" The man said, "No, to be a leader on earth is to be bound in heaven." So this man is wise. Tay said, then you shall have renown, fame, for you are the highest of men." But the man answered, "No, I will not have renown, for when I am dead and gone to heaven, I will be called back continually by the prayers of men. Naked I came into the world. Permit me to depart when my time comes as Jehovah directs." Man, you gotta love this guy, man. You have got to love him. This guy is just, man, I love this guy, man. His attitude is perfect. So why is the creator giving us this type of example of man? Now, in the second division, it says, Book of Knowledge, chapter 5. It says, Tay then called together all the laborers of the earth who were diligent but did not prosper. And he found their spiritual judgment transcended their corporal judgment. He calls these second division. Okay, so I messed up. Actually, I already read this. This is an extra slide. This is an extra slide of the same thing. So I didn't even need that. Actually, this is the same thing. So somehow I made a mistake and duplicated some slides. Okay, the third division. Okay, we read that. The fourth division, we read that. Okay, the ultimate place, we read that. So somehow I doubled up. I don't know how I did that. Okay, this is where I should have picked up. Actually, I doubled this up too. We already read this. I don't know what I did, but I doubled up on these slides. I must have hit a button and it duplicates slides. I think, okay, now this is where I should have landed after those duplicate slides. Okay, the question is being answered. How do you judge? Book of Knowledge, chapter 5. It says, okay, Nazarene taking off. All right, brother. Thanks for checking in, man. Creator bless you. See you later. How do you judge? Okay. Book of Knowledge says, then Jehovah questioned Tay, saying, how do you judge the children of men? Tay said, the leaders, that is, kings, queens, emperors, popes, and rich men, I have made into one division, and producers into another division, idlers and babes in another, and thieves, liars, robbers, politicians, judges. Oh, okay. I thought you usually post that at the end of the video. Okay. So Tay says, Joey said, how do you judge? And then Tay said, I have made into one division producers, into another division idlers and babes, and another, and thieves, liars, robbers, politicians, judges, lawyers, and priests who live in fine houses. Okay. So Tay, he shows you how he looked at men, how he judged them. He looked at, either their position or, well, he looked at mainly their position, the outward man, really, the fruits they bore, and he categorized them. So now the Creator, he's showing how he judges man. Now he's going to show us how he does it. So it says, then Jehovah spoke through his sons and daughters, saying, you have done well, talking to Tay. He said, for what is one man more than another when stripped of his flesh body, except in the righteousness of his soul? And Creator, he's asking a question. What is like the common denominator? That's what makes up what really a man is. It's really the fruits of your labor, the things you do, the way you manifest yourself in the world. The Creator says that's how he judges. See, it is the labor that is judged and counted unto man as righteousness. It's what you do more so than what you say. Here, the Creator, he says, for what is one man more than another when stripped of his flesh body, except in righteousness of his soul? See, your soul is going to show the world who you are. The Creator is going to, he divides us according to who we are, not what we look like physically, carnally. The Creator is saying, I look at who you really are based on what you do, and I make judgment that way. Who you are, what you do shows me who you are. And the Creator says, and is the labor of man not the true basis to weigh the worth of his spirit? See how the Creator look at you. See, the Creator, he don't look at the outside like it's saying in the Bible. He look at the heart. And then he says, what more is the king or the rich man in my sight than the most menial servant? He said the king is no different than a menial servant because they both labor. It just depends on whether they do it righteously or unrighteously. You got some kings that rule well, and some that don't. You have some servants who maybe they steal, and then they're some servants who they serve righteously, they just do their job the best of their ability. They don't cause problems. They serve. See, it's what they do that separates them. The Creator says it's what you do. What you do. That He judges. And then we can conclude from this is why no one can look down on any labor among men except whether it is righteous or unrighteous. See? If we're going to look at any man, the only thing that we can use to determine anything is whether the brother is laboring righteously or not. And it's the same way if you're a faithist. If you have knowledge but you're laboring unrighteously, then that's going to work against you. And you could have a brother who's laboring righteously. See, both of you labor, but the difference is whether you're doing it righteously or unrighteously. You see, whether your labor is benefiting you, your labor can also not benefit you. And the Creator is saying that's how He looks and He judges, because the actions of your heart. You know what I mean? Actions of your heart. That's how the Creator look at you. And He basically gives you what you want. If this is the reality you really, really want, then the Creator, He places you there. It's up to you. You see the beauty of the Creator? He gives you what. Now, if you want to ascend in your spirit, now we got work to do. We got work to do, which is to learn how we can become a servant with the good attitude. That's the key to everlasting. That's the key to perpetual glory and elevation. That's the key right there. If you can make it, man, if you can do it, you heard it all your life, but that's the key right there. It remains the same. You work on becoming the perfect man. That guy we read about, he said, he said, hey man, somebody need me, I give it all I've got. No, I don't need your gold. No, I don't need to be a leader. Just let me do my time and then just go home. You gotta love that. Oh boy, you gotta love that man. That's the perfect man right there. That's the perfect man right there. Oh, that's the perfect man right there. And then spiritual maturity, it was harder in ancient times. I thought this was interesting. Check this out. Spiritual maturity was harder in ancient times. The Ark of Bond, I don't know when it was, maybe 6, 7, 8,000, 9,000 years ago, Ark of Bond. Look at what it says in the guidebook. It says that the ratio, look at this. I hope this really gets your attention. Check this out. In the Ark of Bond, the proportion of the spiritually mature individuals reaching a suitable level, it was 1 to 58. Okay, so that's a little better than it was to the time previous to the Ark of Bond. Look at that. Here was the Ark of Bond, okay? And every one person out of 58 met the criteria for being spiritually mature individuals, met the criteria for being at a suitable level, which I think is above 50. Above 50. One for every 58 people. And then it says before the ark of bond, look at this. It was 1 to 1,000. Meaning that for every 1,000 people, let's say like, let me put it in contemporary terms. Let's say like you're in the draft. You know how every year baseball, football, basketball, they have a draft. And they choose one person at a time. Now, before the Ark of Bond, the ratio stood at 1 to 1,000. That means that 1 out of 1,000 people got drafted. 1 out of 1,000. You know, spiritually speaking. Now, it got a little better as time went on. As you can see here, it talks about the Ark of Bond. But before the Ark of Bond, it was 1 of 1,000. And then it progressed to 1 in 58. Okay. And then the higher one rises in spiritual maturity, the fewer the companions he has in this reality. A brother who is really taking the Creator seriously, the less companions you're going to have. Creator is saying the less companions you're going to have. You would think it's the other way around. In the Book of Knowledge, it discusses the spiritual progress of individuals as and I think I made a mistake here. Let's see. It says the spiritual progress of individuals. It says, and I think it should say something like, especially those who are reaching the age of 70 years of age. It emphasizes that while some individuals may have outgrown earthly desires and passions, achieving a level of self-abnegation, that should be abnegation. That means selflessness. It says they represent a small proportion of spirit beings. I messed that up. It's trying to mess me up again. Hold on a second. Now I got to find the slide that I was at. It's amazing how these things love to happen. I got to find the slide where I was at now. This is really, that's how I know that I'm getting messed with. Because these things happen where I'll lose the slide. It was talking about as people grow older, some people, it was, I was talking about earlier in the video. So obviously, evidently, I put the slide somewhere else by mistake. I don't even know how I did it. This is amazing. It made me misplace the slide. I hit something, I hit a button, and it threw my slide somewhere to where I can't find it. Isn't that something? I'm not surprised that these things even happen anymore. I ain't even surprised. Now, I was here where I was talking about the spiritual grade and how it increased from ancient times. Before the Ark of Bond, it was 1 in 1,000. And then as time went on, it got down to 1 in 58. And then I went to the next slide and it got pushed somewhere else. How do you like that? It literally took away the slide I was looking at. Isn't that something? That's a wow. So I have to chalk that one up to a victory for the false gods. Okay, let me see. Undo. Thank you, Nazarene. Thank you, brother. That was really a trip, man. I don't know what I did to. Thank you, brother. Now, here's where I was. Brother said, hit undo. And I did it, and it brought it back to me. Thanks, brother. Thanks for helping me. Now, here is talking about the mystery of your age. It should help to mature you, or it may not. Now, it says individuals who reach 70 years of age, it emphasizes that while some individuals may have outgrown earthly desires and passions, achieving a level of self. Now I was going to change this, and then it just knocked it away somewhere. I was going to change this word right here. Self-abnegation. That means as you age, you should become more able to have a mind where it's all about you and more about other people. That's what it's saying here. It says at 70 years of age, it emphasizes that while some individuals, they may have outgrown earthly desires and passions, achieving a level of self-abnegation. That's where you more likely to let other people have their way, to digress to other people, that sort of thing. It says they represent a small proportion of spirit beings that should be beings, not birds. Spirit beings specifically, let me change that. People who reach a certain level of selflessness, and let me change that word right there. Spirit beings, specifically, says individuals who get up around 70 years of age, they may have outgrown earthly desires and passions, achieving a level of self-abnegation. They represent a small proportion of spirit beings, specifically disproportionate, stated to be 1 in 44 in the current era. So that means in the current era, you get up around 70 years of age, and 1 of every 44 people meet the criteria for being evolved enough. Like, I would say that's probably above the grade 50, where they are at a suitable level for ascension, resurrection, if I'm not mistaken. They're at a level where it's called they're at a suitable level. 1 of 44. As you get up around age of 70, your desires die down. Number is more favorable for, in the ratio sense, 1 of 44 people. They reach a suitable level, it's called. And I would have to think it's above age. It could be above 32. I don't know. I forget. I'll find out. It says in the current era, referred to as the beginning of Cosmon, this contrasts with earlier, such as the Ark of Bond, where the ratio is 1 to 58. So it's better now. Is basically the Ark of Bond is helping people is lowering the number of people who are considered at a suitable level for probably being harvested, or elevating in their spirit. In the day we're in now, we're in a really favorable time compared to history, is what it's saying. We're at a very favorable time compared to history. More people are able to reach a suitable level. And it says it's 1 to 44 in our day and age. There's for every one person, for every 44 people, one person will become a faithist. From how I understand it, for every think about that. That's the world we live in. For every 44 people, well, and this is talking about as you get up in age, around the age of 70. For every 44 people who are up in age, one person becomes a faithist. Okay? So it says, it says, in the current era, in the beginning of Cosman, this contrasts with the lower ratio rate, okay, such as the Archibald, where the ratio is 1 to 58. A historical age is where it was as low as 1 to 1,000 before the Archibald. It says, despite the progress noted, the passage poignantly reflects on the reality that many individuals, even if they reach the age of 70, they may remain spiritually immature. See, that's what I was talking about earlier. My neighbor, he's like almost 70 years old, and he acts like a little child, man, in his spirit, you know. He's very selfish. He has no inclination for spirituality or the Creator. You know, he acts like he gets mad easily. He's constantly arguing with people, and he's up near his 70s. And so that's why it says here, some that are up around the age, they remain spiritually immature, likening their spirits to the development of a newborn child. So in the Cosman era, the ratio of those suitable for higher level of spiritual growth and maturity improves 1 to every 48. Out of every 48 people, one person will become a faithist, a fruit-bearing, ascending faithist, 1 for every 48 people. So in summary, it says, the Creator shows us in the OAHSPE Bible, specifically in the Book of Knowledge, a great mystery in our reality. True spirituality is determined by our actions, meaning our ability to serve ourselves less and more to serve others. To serve others. Spiritual ascension, meaning to serve yourself less and to serve others more and more. The Creator repeatedly shows the faithist the way to ascension is to take on the mind of a servant to your brethren. This study shows us that the Creator groups people, he groups people together according to their labor and spiritual grade, using the term like attracting like. The decision is ours to where we wish to land in the spiritual realm. That is the great mystery of our reality, and the choice belongs to us. And that, my friends, is the end of the presentation. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Remember the ending theme song, the Rocky and Bullwinkle? That, my friends, is the end of the presentation for the presentation called Like Attracts Like. It's a heavy mystery, man. Creator is saying that now we got the opportunity to be in the midst, in the realm, in the spirituality of people whom we admire, who we want to be like, whom we want to be. The Creator says that he looks at the things that we do in our reality, the way we are, and he simply groups us with those people when we land in our spiritual. Either on the side of declension or the side of ascension. Simple as that. It's up to you. It's a beautiful thing, man. He says that some people, they get older. Matter of fact, most people, man, are not eligible to be counted as someone at a suitable level of ascension in their spirit. And I don't know if he means to, hey, Dave, hey, brother, you want to come on and give a word before I close the video? Let me put the link in the, in case you might want to say a word or something. Thank you, Brother Nazarene. All right, all praises to the Creator, man. I love that lesson. I love doing it, man. You know, I just thought it was heavy. I'm sorry I didn't do it the way 100%. You know that I think I didn't. I don't think I gave it the ability. I don't know what the word is for the perfection which I believe this type of study deserves. But I think that I was able to share enough to basically just show that we are in a situation where the majority of people do not elevate to a suitable level. That's one of the big things I learned in this study, you know. Thank you, Dave, brother. All I can do is the best I can, man. But this study was unique in the sense that they don't like to say things like, you know, say things like most people will not elevate to a suitable, mature level. The situation we in is very, very serious. The Creator is saying, in this reality, there's only like one for every 48 people who will take the Creator seriously like that, and they will ascend in their spirit. That's what basically this whole study is saying. Like attracts like. Brethren, we got to think about that. You know? You got to look at the low number of views. That's another witness that what we read here, what we learned here is true. Because we deal with things that the whole world, it interests them, but they don't have no care. They don't have no concern. They don't have no interest in these things. And the Creator, He's testing us to see whether or not we can endure the current darkness. Because before you, brother, know it, that's going to be it. We're going to have crossed over. And brother, the first thing you want to see is that paradar, man. When we cross over, now I know it sounds like a long time off and people don't like to talk about it. They don't like to share it. They just, you know, there ain't nothing we can do about that. But we know when it comes time for us to be born again, if we're sitting at the head of our corporal body, brother, you are home free, man. Lots of juices. Okay, Dave, I sure will, brother. Juices and teas. But when the Creator is telling us, man, you know, let's say we cross over and we sitting at the head of our corporal body, brother, it's time for some shouting now. Because you know on the fourth day, that paradar is coming. That beautiful spirit being. In the guidebook, it said it was a female, but you got to consider it's, you know, vice versa. You know what I mean? And then, you know, you are home free now. But most of the world, it sounds like they're going to cross over and they're going to find themselves sitting at their feet of their corporal body. It's only one of two things, man, you know? Either you sit at the head or you sit at the feet. Like attracts like. And the Creator said most people will not elevate to a suitable level. Only a faithist will elevate to a suitable level to, I don't know what the good word is, whether it's to make the harvest or to ascend in their spiritual. That's the only part that was left out of this study. It's like, what is the Creator saying for those, for that one person of every 48, of that one person for every 58, of that one person of every 1,000 way back in antiquity? I did not seem to get a concrete understanding of these people and the benefit they have over the rest of the world. I know it's talking about faithists and the few that will be eligible for counted as at a suitable level. That's all I really got out of this study. The Creator is saying He's giving you a ratio. The Creator is actually giving you a ratio, basically, of people who make it. I'll just say it like that. How do you like that, brethren? He gave us a ratio. He gave us a ratio. That's why you should look at yourself, man, and be thankful, be glad, and don't forget it. It's like you got something in your possession the whole world want. They don't know how to find it. They don't want it. And then they learn too late that they wish they had it. But then the Creator says, come here, man, look. I'm going to show you, you didn't want it. It's just like the story in the New Testament. The guy, Lazarus, the man died. He wanted to cross over to where Lazarus was. And the angel said, man, look, in your life, you received the good things and he received the evil things. And beside that, there's the bridge of Chinvat that's separating me and you, so that those of us who are over here, we can't go to you. And those of you who are over there, you can't come to us. You got to break out of your mind first. And now you're in the spiritual, and it's going to be tougher for you. You should have took advantage of the time when you was on earth, man. But you didn't do it because you didn't care. Brother, that's the best I can do. Brother, thank you for joining me. I pray that the Creator, that He bless you with understanding, and I want to give thanks to the Creator for this opportunity to be a light while in this reality. Thank you, brother, for having fellowship, joining me. No videos this weekend and Monday, Creator willing. I'll see you again on video. Until then, may the Creator richly protect and bless and give wisdom and endurance and encouragement to all you brethren. Again, thank you for joining me. Until I see you again, peace be unto you. Shalom.